Shout out to the CIC. Yet again, the president of our beautiful political party, the mighty EFF, is being vindicated by the whole world, by the whole citizens of South Africa, white and black, including Afrikaners and any other races. Vindicating our president, our CIC, because he's been consistent in the fight against AfriForum. He's been the only one fighting to defend, the struggle song of Tuwulipun. He's been the only one who has went to court. Black people were calling him, he's racist, he's against inclusivity, this man, no, Julius Malema, hey, what, he's a sellout. But it's been the only one who has been consistent against the same people black people are calling sellout, this AfriForum. But watch here.
My brother, when the white people came here and took our land, they didn't come and take our land as an individual. They took it as settlers and then pushed us to a land that is not even productive and made us to stay like sardines in congested environments with no economic opportunities. It is white people who must be ashamed of what they've done to us. You cannot turn tables now and want to blame me for the crimes committed by white people. It is a white regime that killed children in 1976. It is the white regime that killed children in the 80s and in the early 90s. It is white people who engaged in the wars of dispossession and forcefully took our land and our cows. Why can't you take responsibility? Why can't you for once just say sorry for the crimes we've committed against you? Why do you want to become victims when we are the biggest victims here? When we have lost everything? When we as black people remain a traumatized nation? A nation that doesn't know what the future holds for them. At least you are guaranteed the future. At least you know if it doesn't work for you here, you can go somewhere else. We've got nowhere to go. And then you come here and want to accuse me, a victim of racism, of being a racist. It's a huge insult, not only to me, but to black people. Madiba coerced us into reconciling with people who have never been one with. That was a myth. It is unrealistic. You can't reconcile if you've never been together. You never came here with an intention to be with us. You came here with an intention to conquer us.
See,
and we remain conquered.
You using this term you, and this is detached from reality. You want to say that you, me, white people,
you
are the same as people from 1652, from 350 years ago.
You are the same.
You want to say it's the same.
You are the same. You are the same.
There's something.
That was Julius Malema in court against AfriForum. There was no any other political party there with him. Not even the ANC was there to stand its ground against AfriForum defending Julius Malema. Not even any other person endorsing Julius Malema's fight against AfriForum. In fact, black South Africans, the same black people today who are claiming that, no, we've always been against Afrikaners, hey, they must bring back the land. They were never there when Julius Malema was shouting, bring back the land. We want the land without expropriation. You know what they were saying when Julius Malema was saying that during President Jacob Zuma's time? They used to say this young man is too radical. This young man is disrespectful. Is disrespecting all people. How can you speak like this? They were saying these people of the EFF, they're going there in parliament and they're disrupting parliament for demanding land back to black people without compensation from the people who have stolen it. That's what these black South Africans were saying when the EFF was doing this fight. For the longest time, the EFF has been consistent. And I'm just glad I'm supporting this party, because why would you support a party that only goes with the flows, that only goes with the trends? This party has been so consistent, and it seems to me and it feels to me that The EFF always knows in the future that the world will be on their side, whether by vindicating them or finally agreeing with what they've always been saying for the longest time. I don't know how Julius Malema does this. I don't know how the EFF always does this, but they always predict, and time always becomes on their side, and everyone ends up being like, oh, we get it now. That's why Julius Malema was saying that. Oh, the EFF has always been doing this, always been saying this. So I'm proud, of my party, that today we are speaking about something which my political party is the only party that has been responsible of bringing this conversation back to life, back to parliament, and back to people's head and people's consciousness. The conversation about land redistribution without compensation. This topic, this conversation was brought back into the foreplay, was brought back into the politics of South Africa by the EFF. It was not brought back by any other party. Let no one mislead you. Let no one tell you lies. It was the EFF. And when the EFF did this during President Jacob Zuma's time, they called the EFF, these young people are disrespectful. These young people, they are too radical. These young people must be neutralized. These young people, no, there's something wrong about these young people. These young people of the EFF, no, why are they shouting these things? They don't know what they're talking about. Today, whatever the EFF has been fighting for the past 11 years is the center of conversation today in South Africa. This thing of the land. And I'm not even saying the land. This whole thing of the land is something that should be given credit only to the EFF. No. Shout out to President Ramaphosa for bringing this to the attention of everyone else. But we know, if it wasn't for the EFF demanding accountability for the longest time from the beginning of time, this thing was going to be gone and forgotten, this land thing. But the consistency of the EFF each and every year in parliament, even risking going out there, being chased by bouncers in parliament, but continue this thing. Today is the center of the conversations today. Today we see people of the MK party, the same people which their president failed to take the land, demanding Ramaphosa to take the land and seize this moment, take the land by force. But yeah, there are people who don't support the constitution and who don't follow the constitution. And the constitution, we agree, must be amended. But like, if you want to do things by force, brutally, you must stand that cause and you must be ready for that. But there's still laws in South Africa, and there's a constitution. As much as you can hate white people all you want, there's still a constitution, unless we get a very, very decisive leadership that's gonna be like, you know what, fuck this thing, forgive my language, but fuck this thing of the constitution, we're throwing this thing off, we don't care about the law, we're taking the land by force. Until you get a leadership like that, things will be done by the book. But it is what it is. Well, thank you very much.